Hey guys, Magnus Robert here bringing you another video. Today we're of course going to be reviewing both Act 3 and Act 4 and then hopefully either tomorrow or maybe later today, who knows, probably tomorrow. I will get out the content list. I'm a little late. I normally get these out straight away but I've been lazy. So we've got two acts to review. Of course this is Act 3, Heaven and Hell, and Act 4, which is In Sickness and In Wealth. And then we're going to kind of briefly talk about which act I think was the strongest out of the two, and then also out of all four. So let's, I guess, start with Act 3, which is, of course, Heaven and Hell. So yeah, Heaven and Hell. I actually quite enjoyed the questline for this one. I think it's probably the strongest questline. The first prize, of course, was Harpoon Hill, which is a decoration. Now, I think this decoration is meh. Like, there's nothing too amazing about it. I mean, it's a cool little lake, I guess, and that's about it. There's nothing really to stand out about this that kind of puts it over, you know, just a regular river tile or like a tree or even some of the rocks that we've got previously. I just think that there's nothing really to write home around. I don't think it's bad, but it's just, you know, very meh. The second prize we've got was, of course, a animation for Marge, which is Enjoy the View. I'm not a massive fan of this one. I don't think, like the book reading one, I don't think they really needed to make this a separate prize. If it was something like a really awesome animated job, I might be a bit, you know, a little more lenient on it. But this one I just don't think is, kind of justifies anyway being a prize. The next thing we got was the Tunnel of Love Cave. Now, at first I thought, oh, this is a really cool building. But it's not a building, it's a decoration. Now, I think this is a rare example of a decoration that really should have been a building. Now, I think the only reason why this isn't a building is partially because, obviously, we already have a Tunnel of Love from Krusty Land. So I think that's probably the reason as to why this wasn't added as a building. Maybe something to do with the files, I don't know, like maybe it wouldn't work if you put both buildings with the same name, but they could have just made it, you know, Tunnel of Cave and call it that, and then it's technically a separate building. I'm not sure if that's the reason. Maybe they just thought it looked better as a decoration, but I just think that this really should have been, like I say, a building, not a decoration. But apart from that kind of criticism, I do think it looks really awesome. So yeah, I still give it a thumbs up. I just wish, like I said, it was a building. The next prize is, of course, a token. I've gone over this many times. I don't think they need to have tokens in the prize track. They've already proven it by the Halloween update. Was it the Halloween update? No, sorry, the Christmas update. They proved that they didn't need to do this. So I'm giving a thumbs down to that. And then the final prize was the Downward Doghouse Yoga Studio. It's a pretty cool building. I like it. No complaints about it. I think it's not nothing amazing, but certainly a cool enough building, so I'll give that one a thumbs up. But there's no character. What the hell? No character or no costume. That's, I think, the biggest flaw of this and also Act 4. I think often I prefer to have, I've said this in the past, but I prefer to have like one building in the prize track at the very least, one character, and then if you really want, the other three can be decorations or an animation, like one animation maybe thrown in there, or maybe a token, but like, I think the perfect act for me would be a character or costume at the end, like a really good character or costume at the end, two buildings sprinkled throughout, and then two awesome decorations. That's my like perfect prize track. Or if you want, you can swap out one of the decorations for a costume just to make it even better. But yeah, that's why I'm kind of giving a thumbs down to this act overall. I just don't think having no character in there or costume is just really disappointing. So the Act 2 premium item was, of course, the it's forgettable Captain Murdicle with the ship, with his ship. That was what it was. God. I think this one's fine. Again, like a little, I guess it was kind of forgettable, but it's all right. I don't hate it. I don't hate the character so much, but I certainly don't love it. The ship's nothing too interesting, so yeah, I just kind of I have a resounding meh for this character. Act 4. So, Act 4, of course, was called, as you can see there, it's called In Sickness and In Wealth. The first prize right off the bat, they gave us a building, but it's a ship at the same time. Ooh. So this was, of course, the... Oh, sorry, no, this was a decoration. I thought it was a building. Oh, no, I'm being dumb. Sorry, no. Decoration. Sunset Cruise Boat. I like this one a lot. I think it looks really cool. It's one of the definitely the better boats that we have. I would maybe prefer if it was a tiny bit wider, potentially, but for what it is, I think it's fine. It's pretty cool. It looks nice enough, so yeah, give that one a thumbs up. The next prize is an animation for Homer. Now, I think this animation is the best of the animations, and I'll tell you why. One, it's a bit more interesting. Two, it's in a separate get-up to like Homer's normal outfit. And three, I think it relates to the story well enough where I think, and you know, it could have been added. However, at the same time, the one flaw about this is why couldn't this just be given as like an extra bonus thing that you unlock with the Doghouse Yoga Studio? I think that would have been better. So although I think it's one of the better of the animations, I certainly don't think it should have been a separate prize. I'm like, maybe, actually, to be honest, maybe it's fine. Maybe this one I think I could let off the hook, but I do think they could have tied it in really nicely if they gave like a little 2-part quest line for the Doghouse Yoga Studio. I think that would have been a better way to add it. The next thing is the Money to Burn Fire Pit. This one is fine. Don't have any objections to it. I think it actually looks kind of cool, so I'll give that one a thumbs up. Then we have a token. Obviously, you know my opinions on them. And then finally is the Ziff Hotel. It's big. It's huge. It's got a nice little ring when you click on it. But do you know what? I hate it. I hate this building. It's so bland. It's so similar to things we've got in the Heights and other buildings we've had in the past. I just don't care about this building. This being the final prize is kind of like a fart in the wind. It's awful. I'm not a fan of it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a stooge, but I just don't love the look of the building. I think we've got similar things in the past, so there's nothing really to care about. And this being the final thing that we unlock in the event is rather disappointing to me. So yeah, I give that one a meh, I guess. I just think it was more disappointing than anything. I don't think it's bad necessarily, but I certainly don't think it's one of my favourite buildings, that's for sure. Anyway, let's quickly talk about Robot Marge. Robot Marge. I don't know. The questline is fine. I think she looks awesome. The animations are okay. I guess the only complaint is it's another Marge doppelganger, but I guess this one is a bit more unique, so do you know what? I think it's a very loose thumbs up, but it's there. I think this is probably one of the better premium items we got. I'd take this over Esme. The actual hotel, not hotel, the wedding house, whatever it's called, is it's nothing. Again, it looks cool enough. It's a nice enough house. I give it a, yeah. To be fair, actually, it's fine. I think it's looking at it now, I think it's cool enough. So yeah, that's Robot Marge with the wedding house. So let's briefly talk about both acts, which one's the better out of the two, and then which one's the better out of the four. So if I had to pick out of the two that we just went through, which one's the better one, I think Act 4 is the best. So of course, we've just looking over it. So if we kind of compare all the prizes, so we have the Harpoon Hill versus the Sunset Cruise Boat. I think the Sunset Cruise Boat is better. In terms of the two animations we got, I think the Homer Yoga one is better. In terms of the Money Pile versus the Cave, I think in that instance the Cave wins. And then the Hotel versus the Yoga, I actually would say the Yoga. So I guess they're technically tied, but if I had to like break the tie, I would go with Act 4. Act 3 though is got some good stuff in it too. I think it's a close second. I think they're about on par with each other. If not, I slightly give the edge to Act 4. And then in terms of the best out of the four, I still think it's Act 1. I think Act 1 is definitely the stronger. I think the character is stronger in Act 2, but the buildings and the love tester and all that, I think Act 1 is definitely the best act that we got all throughout this event. So that is it for my video. I hope you enjoyed. Tell me your thoughts on Act 3 and 4. Stay tuned for the content list, probably coming out tomorrow, where I'll just go through all the items, make sure you've got everything. Also, I guess it kind of acts as a little guide, what is in this update, so you can always go, when the awards roll around later this year, you can go back to my content lists and see what items were and everything. And I don't know. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.